It's a wonderful Thursday afternoon, and quite an adventurous one as well. It seems that my van is falling apart lately. So I was off to work this morning on my wonderful way. It's actually really super early for some reason. I got up super early to go to work, like, I don't know, like it was intended to break down. And so I get in my car, I pack Pooh Bear in, I get my computer and my usual items that I take with me. And I'm all excited to go to the bank today to pick up my $500 of half dollars that I ordered from the bank to go search for silver coins and special error coins, because I do have a collecting coins on the side, and I do occasionally go on a, which I do find once in a while. You don't get like what you used to get, but you do get a coin here or there, and it's fun, and I need a little change in my life. So I said, you know what, I'm going to go buy a bag of coins from the bank and see if I can get lucky this time. So I went, packed everything in the car, off I go to work. I get about halfway there, and I start to smell diesel. I'm like, oh no, what's going on? It must be the truck, and I thought it was the truck in front of me. And all of a sudden, smoke. Yeah, a little disconnection there for a minute. I didn't even have a fire extinguisher in the car, in the van, which is because I always have one, a nice big one. Good morning, Ellen Dawn. It's good morning where you are, that's correct. It's good evening or late afternoon here now. Yes, I'm on my way to work this morning, and the van decides to break down on the infamous German Autobahn on the daily racetrack. There's nowhere to pull over, and the car just stops. There's smoke coming out the hood. It's like a classic, and it's already like 25 degrees out. Hello, Curtis. Good day. And so I'm like, oh man, what do I do now? So I stopped the car on the middle of the Autobahn, and I tried to start it. I got it started just enough to get it moving again, and I pulled over to the side of the road, and it's one of the fuel lines busted. So, oh man, that was disgusting. I hate the diesel. I hate the smell of diesel. So I had to patch it up with the rubber glove and some zip ties. It actually worked to get me to work. And at work, I managed to do a temporary fix until tomorrow, until the correct part. I ordered the correct part. It'll be here tomorrow. The complete return line set up for all the injectors. It's one piece with like 4 or 5 hoses hooked together, like a hard plastic. So I ordered that, and that should be here tomorrow. And then I just finished steam cleaning the engine compartment before I left. So I have to go home now. Oh, I forgot some dry sweep. I have to clean up the walk because I guess I was leaking for a while now. I've been smelling diesel on and off, but I haven't thought to the fact that it's for my van, and I never thought that the van had a problem. But what happened was that the engine lifting hook, the hook where you like change the engine from, where you hang it from if you were to take the engine out, the screw head came out, and it was just flopping around in there, and it rubbed a hole through the fuel line. I didn't hear any noise or anything, so that's on my fault, I guess. So that's on my error, user operator error. Luckily, nothing happened. The only really downdraw to this is that I made a big mess. Now I have to go clean it up. I was able to wash the engine compartment down real good before I go home tonight, and I will take care of the sidewalk now. I have a special chemical for that to take care of that oily diesel spill there. I'll walk down to the fire department and get me some of that dry sweep they have up there. I could take some from work, but I forgot to bring me some. So like kitty litter you put on there, and it absorbs the oil. You rub it in on the pavement, and then it gets up most of the oil out of the asphalt. Yeah, that's the bad news. Within the good news that I was able to repair it temporarily to safely drive around. So that's she's coming over tonight. She's finished with her week of hard work at her place, and she's going to be over now tonight, and we're going to discuss all of the hard work that she's been done this week. Yeah, I'm real happy I was able to fix the leak there. I was a bit nervous. I don't like being without transportation because I got little Pooh Bear to haul around with me all the time. That's why we're trying to look into a second van here soon, real soon. trying to save up some money. It's going to be about 5,000 euros to get a decent shape van. It's a smaller size than this one, so it'll be a little bit easier to park. So it'll be a little bit easier on Vanessa's usage there. She likes to go in the city sometimes, and parking spaces are really, for her job, she's got to get around. But also be able to like put in all the tools, and because she's really handcrafty, handy with tools as well, and she's got a wide range and arsenal of tools herself lately these days, and we both enjoy going out on adventures. So having a van is just a big plus. You can throw it all in there. You go anywhere you want to go. Sleep in the back. And then I'm gonna get her a trailer too. She's freaking out about the trailer already, as I know you're gonna get a trailer. You're gonna learn how to drive a trailer, and then you're gonna learn all that after you've. I used to not be able to want to drive a trailer myself. I have to admit to that. I used to be a race car driver. I used to only drive my fast car everywhere. Well, yeah, you kind of grow out of that. $60,000, but that's long gone, and a mistake you make in life to live and learn. And now I enjoy driving my vans and my pickups and all those, and my SUVs and my Jeeps. And I enjoy the fact that I have a trailer, a nice large trailer, and one of my big investments that I invested in the last year was a brand new 2.5 ton trailer that I can actually haul all my equipment around with me. I'm always going to all these markets. I'm always surfing up and down the internet to go find something cool that someone might have. And it's awesome to have a trailer and a car that can pull it. My little Volkswagen van, that was all great and stuff, but it wouldn't pull a trailer for its life. After I burnt the clutch out in that, I said, I'm going to sell this. It took me to Norway, it took me all over the place, but the second you put the trailer in the back, it's like, no! So it's, it's not so I sold that finally, a couple of months ago. And now I have this. I'm really happy with this van. I put a new clutch in this van, and I've basically fixed it all the way around once to get all the wear and tear parts. I have a really weird noise from the front left wheel. I'll have to pay some attention to that maybe this weekend. But for now, back on the road. Now, the other good news for today is as some of you might know, I'm an avid coin collector. I collect coins that I can sell for money that make some budget for my projects. I collect coins that are silver, and I collect coins that have some sentimental value to me because I've had them for a very long time. And I collect the serial numbers. I collect the mint marks and errors off of certain years of mint marks. But I don't have my coin collection isn't too crazy. It's more about the value of the. If it's worth a lot, I'll take it and I'll get it graded. I'll put it on the market and I'll sell it to be able to afford something other, like an anvil, like a cool piece of equipment. I give a avid collector that collects those coins a chance to get something in their collection. I mostly collect coins for the silver, and that's what I'm going to be doing tonight. I got a big bag of $500 worth of half dollars, Kennedy half dollars from the bank. They called me up today and said, hey, we have a special order for you. And I'm like, oh boy, that's always expensive. So $500 in a bag of, like an old style bank robber, a bag of a burlap sack full of money. Like the old days, it looks like. People are going to forget what that looks like in a couple of decades. They won't know what a big bag of money looks like. They don't even know what money will be probably in 20 years. I'll be digital. So yeah, I've got that in the back. And they were nice enough to give me one of those empty bags, which was really hard to get. I really need one for my collection. I have a lot of loose silver coins that don't really go in any individual. I don't have enough of them to put them in a coin tube or in a collection of any kind. So I just put them all in a big bag of money. Yes. I'm so really excited for that. That was my update for today. Big adventure. I was real busy at work today. It was hot. I was doing some steam cleaning out the garage as well. It was so humid I had to stop in between and then take lunch break and come back and do the rest tomorrow. I might bring my Viking tent tomorrow and see what shape that's in. Maybe give that a wash. Viking event coming up in my town, a couple towns away from where I live. That's annual every year. And it's the first time I get to go in the last 3 years. So I'm so excited about that. I'm very happy to be able to go to that. Oh, I was gonna call that guy today. That's right. Forgot all about that. Yeah, but anyway, I'll be really excited. Really excited. I'm hoping to be able to film that. Really would like to. My buddy Chris is gonna come along, spend the beer Zerker. He'd like to show up around Friday. And then my buddy James, maybe my buddy James will be back from Africa from our gold mining operation. I don't know that yet. I haven't heard from him, and I'm a bit worried about his situation because he usually checks in with me every week. So I'll have to see how he's doing here. Got a little Pooh Bear in the back. He wants to go home. I gotta hurry up. Do some cleaning out the basement. We will be harvesting our first honey on Sunday. Ever on a big scale. I did get some the first year out of a couple of frames. It wasn't much, a couple of glasses of honey. But an official honey harvest, which will be really exciting. I'm going to do that in my basement to be able to lock up the honeycombs from the bees. If I do it up at the Viking camp, I'll get attacked. I'll get swarmed by all the bees that want to come and rob me of all the honey. So I'll be harvesting all the honey on Sunday. It won't be much. S. Dellinger, welcome. Sorry to hear your truck broke down. I have to read the comments when I get home. One of the problems I've been having, I'm not able to see your guys' comments when I get off the live stream there for some reason. Oh yeah, better than new. Well, you gotta tweak the odds and ends. I know that as you rebuild it and something breaks anyway, so it's just so you tweak it. It takes about 3 or 4 weeks to tweak all the oops and things here and there, and go back over all the manifold bolts and make sure after a couple miles they're still nice and tight. Do a pressure test on the cooling system. Yeah, I'm in the midst of buying another Dodge Durango, a 2002, I believe it is, Dodge Durango 4x4. It's the last year they made the old body style, but it has all the new upgrades on it, which was what I was trying to upgrade my old one to before it blew up. I would rebuilt that one as well. Someone threw some bolts down the engine because I kicked them out of the shop. They had no business being in there, and I told them to leave. And as I went to go put my car back together, I took the frame and the body apart, and I was swapping the cabin, and I put everything back together, and it went boom! Number 7 piston flew out the bottom. Yeah, so that was very nice. So I had to get rid of that. That project was over at that moment. But I really would like to get it back because I love that car. It was just a powerhouse. It pulled anything. It pulled pickup trucks out of the ditch that were bigger than it. And I went everywhere with that car. I took it to Bayern Munich a couple times, and that was just like a driving living room with all-wheel drive. And since I'm planning on getting back into hunting a little bit more, maybe even getting I can't translate that into English. A Falkner. Vanessa and I are looking into getting our own owls and hawks and eagles as to take care of, sort of as I wouldn't say pets. They're not pets. They're going to be tools to be using. Those animals will be included in part of the daycare, outdoor daycare. We'll be doing therapeutic walks at nighttime, holding an owl, and it's something that's really got a big potential for a lot of customers and a lot of people that are into that. Falconry, yeah, there you go. We're looking at getting our certification, which is real easy. And in that process, we're going to use that for our project with the children. We're going to be able to host events where we have nighttime walks with the owls and people will come there and do that for an experience. And those we just discovered that that's a really big market for that, because there's Vanessa just participated in a similar event, and it was absolutely awesome. And I'm going to go and meet the falconer, the guy who does that. We're going to talk business and see what that is all about here, because we've, I guess, there's a couple of doors opening, and that's a great opportunity to become a little more self-sufficient and to expand my horizons yet again with some new experiences and new skills. And I get to share those experiences and skills with all kinds of different people that will benefit from them, from the experience of, from the shared experience. Really, really excited. It is so hot. And it wasn't as hot as it was yesterday for some reason. I don't know how that's happening, but it's really hot. We're supposed to have severe thunderstorms and hail the size of golf balls tomorrow. Hello, Sean. Welcome. Just got to peek down to see you. I really try to pay attention to this real busy section of road here, so I'm just going to kind of peek down and see if I can take a glimpse to see if who's in the chat. So, all right. Yeah, we're almost home now. I'm going to park the van. We're going to load up all the equipment out of the basement that I can to take up to the Viking camp, so that I can then set up my basement we're going to spin honey on Sunday. We're going to harvest honey for the first time. I'm so excited. I'm excited to see how much of the honey I can get out of 2 hives. I got 2 hives that have a lot of honey, my 2 biggest hives, and I'd like to get some honey this year to have. And really excited about that, really, I am. I have everything and I've never got to use it. I got the full professional outfit, the equipment, all the items I need, and they're just sitting there collecting dust. And I'm really excited to use them for the first time. So let's see how that goes. I'll do my best to do some film. Maybe we'll do it live even. Maybe we'll do a live from the basement. We'll have to see how the reception goes. We'll do a test run. Maybe we'll do live from the basement, decapping the honey and all that, spinning the honey. That would be great. It's a good idea. But first I gotta clean up and give the basement a good scrub. And we're gonna tape off the work area with plastic, it'll be all food grade safe, because it is my workbench. I'm gonna back down, wipe it down, and then tape most of the equipment off, so there's no way that any nasties can get in there. I don't have a better space for that right now. There's a lot of things that would come first. There's a room in my house that I want to use in the basement for a kitchen, for those prep for processing game or meats or honey. It's like a small kitchen room, and right now it's my metal detecting room where I put all my rusty junk. So that has to go. I have to find a new home for my metal detecting junk. Oh no, I can't part with it. All my rusty stuff that I find that I have no clue what it is. It's just sitting there in a pile in the corner. Yeah, and I have a bunch of my old stuff, my DVDs and stuff that could go in the attic. So I could really start working on that room. And we're gonna work on that this weekend. I'm gonna be real busy cleaning out the basement. Probably the next couple days. Yes, so we're almost home now. I'm going to end the stream here as soon as I get turned around. They've kept and harvested honey in the Viking Age. Well, that is a good question. And it's a topic that it's been interesting me now for the longest time, and nobody knows. We don't know. Now we can contemplate that they have kept bees in beehives called skleps. It's basically a wound and woven beehive out of straw, similar to those that you would have seen in the 1500s from the Middle Ages here in Europe. Very plausible that that's how they would have done that. They would have had some kind of protection suits to go out in the forest and harvest the bees. They would have known what to look for. They would have looked for the bees and then they would have probably harvested the bees very carefully, brought them back to the station where they had the bees set up in the farm, at the homestead. Or otherwise, very possible as well, they would have walked out into the forest and left the bees right where they were at. And also in ancient art would be Zeitlerei. Zeitlerei in Germany, that translates to keeping bees in trees, basically. So that's a lost art as well. And so that they may have been able to keep the bees somehow in the forest, which would have been very good, their natural habitat, and not relocate them at all, therefore damaging the bee colony structure as little as possible in order to harvest the honey in the end. I do think that the honey harvest part was where most of the bees would have suffered, because there was no way of carefully removing the part that had the honey. You cut all of the frames out, and then, that's it. There go the bees. And they would smash the combs, and the honey would run out. They would usually filter it through a cheesecloth or something like that, some kind of cloth. That's how I think. Comparing it, if we go by how honey was harvested in the 15th century, which is only about 500 years later, I don't think that much would have changed all in that area of the world. But we do know they had lots of honey because they made mead. They loved mead. So there would have been a very popular way to keep bees for that time. And great to contemplate and experiment on that. We do have even ideas that the archaeology has found clay pottery fragments that have had beeswax in them, possibly at the point where our Stone Age ancestors would have kept bees in some kind of pottery that they've made out of clay, which is also a possibility later on, that some kind of clay and mortar beehive was used to keep the bees, and when it was time to harvest the bees, they basically smashed it open and took all the honey out, and most likely killed all the bees as well. It's a really interesting topic. Really, really interesting. It's hard to really get to a conclusion because there's no evidence of anything that may possibly have been found. There are some depictions of the Viking Age, there are some late Viking Age, maybe not even Viking Age, early depictions from literature that show a woven beehive, like you would see the little emoji symbol, the beehive, as you would figure a typical beehive. So probably out of straw and mortar and maybe some kind of manure mix would have made a really good beehive back then, and that's what they would have used to carry their bees and actually even travel with the bees, take them from homestead to homestead, or trade the bees as payment, a bee colony for trade or whatever. Very interesting topic. Maybe a topic for another video. But I'm at home right now and I'm sweating. My shirt is soaked. I've got to get out, load the van, and take all the stuff up to the camp. I have some of my woodworking projects that need to leave the basement and go up to the camp so they can get finished. Well, I don't think I would have probably guessed that they would have probably had some kind of thick linen shirts and some kind of woven cloth, similar to our beekeepers today, some kind of thin woven cloth, like a net mesh or some kind of woven cloth in that manner, that allowed them to see but wasn't big enough for the bees to actually penetrate. So possibly that would have been a solution too, but I don't think they would have just gone out and got stung by the bees to get the bees. I don't know. Well, maybe it was just an easy thing back then, or you went and had your thrall bring the bees home, your slaves. Go get the bees. I don't know. Maybe. Who knows? Anyway. Well, that'll be all for today's drive home chat. I'm glad to have all of you along for the ride. I'm happy to have made it home, and I'm probably going to try to be back online later on tonight, but I can't promise because Vanessa's coming over. We're going to go and get dinner. And by the time I get back, it'll probably be 10 o'clock. And then I'd probably want to load the van because I have a lot of adventures for tomorrow planned. And so I have to prepare for that so I can just get in the van and go. So if I don't see you guys till tomorrow, if I don't see you guys tonight, I'll definitely see you again tomorrow. So like always, stay safe and see you soon. Yes. All right, buddy. See you soon.